Hey,
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, our intro has a sick beat, man. Every time I hear it, this is as close as I had to a glow stick. And I just Rich, hey man, it's good to Jesus, I saw you last week. Welcome everybody to this episode of Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter Quarantine version 2.0 or whatever. We're gonna have to do a poll or something, Richard. This is great because the last few episodes we've done, we've been really fortunate to have some really great people on the show.
Oh yeah.
But the only problem is again, not complaining. I love our guests. I love having guests. But it seemed like we had guests on weeks where shit really, came out. It was just like, we tried, you could tell too, we tried really hard to keep it about them, but it's also like, hey, have you been watching The Boy? There, for not a lot coming out, we've had a lot of stuff come out here the last couple weeks, and
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to sit down and catch up.
Yeah.
No, go.
Let's start with something really good though. Marvel announced She-Hulk.
Yeah. Oh,
You really didn't talk about this, when our prep show. I just realized we forgot to mention that. We have to say that,
Yeah.
I love the new casting.
Yes. Getting the actress from Orphan Black, that was, dude, she's amazing.
Yeah, that's Taytana. How does
I set you up because the name is right in front of me, but I was sure I was not going to try, like man.
Recently, I can't remember. I have watched, but I think she's going to be a perfect fit for her too.
So do I.
Because there was a leaked photo today or something that was slipped out about her building up or something. I was trying to find that.
Which is really good to hear, because when I'd first heard that they were doing a She-Hulk movie, it was just like, man, they could do it either right or they could go really wrong, because I followed She-Hulk for a while. I think it was when Amanda Conner did her, because I really liked Amanda Conner's one of those. She's one of those writers. She did Power Girl, and she always had a great take on those characters. The She-Hulk book that I picked up, it was more lighthearted. It was like your individual, your solo Harley Quinn book and your solo Power Girl book. It wasn't heavy. Right. They were enjoyable books.
Yeah, that's like what John Byrne did with it when he picked it up, because he did the second run, and he broke the fourth wall. He's the one that
Yeah.
Because the first run, it was Marvel. You could tell it was late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
It had the same Marvel, but. It was, how do I want to say it? It was his cousin getting the blood, and they were trying to do a series back then too, I think, because it was supposed to be the same time as Dazzler came out, and they were trying to do all the feminism stuff, Ms. Marvel and stuff like that, So it was a good time for Marvel Comics. So, She-Hulk has been a great character, I just wish she would find her ground more,
And when I'd heard, I read probably the same thing that you did, that the actress was, for lack of a word, bulking up, getting in shape for it. That filled me with a lot of hope, because it sounds like they're doing it right, where they're going to keep her, how do I put this, real and not CG. Because, I think a lot of people are familiar enough with She-Hulk to remember that, she wasn't, the Hulk. Jennifer got bigger, but not, she was toned. I think when it came to She-Hulk, they went for tone and not bulk. So hearing that, the actress is bulking up, to get the tone and definition, told me that they were going more real and less CG, which that just sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great, and
Yeah.
like I said, I hope they keep the series down, give it 8 episodes, 10 episodes at the most, Remember how you and me always talk, when they go 13, it's way too much, I just hope out the door they do the smaller, sort of like what they're going to do with like Obi-Wan Kenobi series. They're going to keep it really tight because I think it's only getting like 6 episodes, right? It's like a bulked up movie is what it's going to be. And then of course and the other good news is WandaVision has been announced it's going to be this year. So
which blows my mind, because I mean, I understand, quarantines put a lock on a lot of the stuff. I remember reading here that Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think that one got pushed back again too.
Yeah, because they were right in the middle of filming, like when all this started.
Yeah, but I think no, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think because I think the WandaVision series was already started even before that.
Yeah,
so I think they all had the principal acting stuff done, and they went to the CG, the visual effects and all that stuff. So I think they could still work on that during quarantine and get away with it.
Yeah, because I think I'm like a lot of fans, especially when Disney Plus first started and they were advertising stuff. It's just like you have enough cut together to do a promo. Throw us at least an episode. Give us the pilot. Why are we waiting until 2021? You've got a 5-minute trailer. But I heard.
Yeah, they just started filming again like last week because photos have been coming out. You're good with your leaked photos. Did you see that one when he's beating those guys with the shield? The what is the USA agent or whatever,
US agent, yeah.
Yeah. And then Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
At least that's what they're thinking is going to happen, so.
Yeah. But no, back to the She-Hulk, man. That was, and what was a great thing about that one is that news like dropped, like came out of nowhere. There wasn't like mixed talk, or hey, I heard a rumor they might be doing a She-Hulk. No, it was just like, we're doing it.
Yeah, there was like a day before someone was talking, sort of leaking big news about She-Hulk tomorrow or something like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hit. So
yeah, but great cast.
What I think happened was they announced the director first earlier.
Yes.
And then after that happened, then they dropped that bombshell, who they casted and everything. So I think that's where the speculation started, but it just was like over,
Because I do remember that, because I remember glimpsing over that, because not to say anything bad about directors, but how many movies, Richard, have we had our hopes up because they announced the director for it, and then you never heard anything ever again about the project? So when I read that, it has a director, and I'm like, yeah. But then the next day, like you said, when they announced that the actress from Orphan Black was like,
oh yeah,
they're really doing it. I gotta say, I'm excited for it, but I'm also a little disappointed that She-Hulk isn't going to take place in like the Netflix Marvel universe, because she would have been great. I mean, think about it, from her being a lawyer and Matt Murdock being a lawyer. I mean, just that element of storytelling,
But there's still hope that some of that elements will still continue on into the MCU.
Yes, because didn't I read that Cage and Iron Fist, wasn't there something going on that their properties got picked up again and they might be continuing on?
Yeah, there's talk that, and then also that the one that played Daredevil will be popping up in Spider-Man as his lawyer.
Oh my God,
that's been running around forever,
Oh my God, I would, yeah. That would, oh man.
But it's one of them things.
It's just, you know what? It's just really nice to be able to sit down and have a conversation about, hearing about this stuff that's coming out, when like a month ago, we were all like, nothing new is ever going to be made ever again,
It sure felt that way.
Yeah. And then speaking of Disney and releasing, stuff, here this last week, we got our first taste of the Mandalorian season 2 trailer.
Yo, yes.
I had to show him. I just got him today. Oh man, and that trailer did not disappoint. We got to see everything in that trailer, we wanted to see. I mean, dude, did you watched the trailer, didn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, when you see the Razor's Crest flying and you see the 2 X-Wings, side by side with it, you're like, oh. And we got to see more Cara Dune. We got to see Carl Weathers. Of course, the star of the show, the baby, which God bless the internet. That scene of the baby when Mando activates his gauntlets and it reaches down and it shuts its thing. I was just like who? God bless the guy who gifted that, like in that second, because like the moment it dropped, I looked it up. I'm like, dude, there's already memes. I'm like, yes. The internet did not let me down that day. But it looked, oh man. And the idea of the story, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more stories involved, but it really does seem like this season is going to be about finding where the baby came from.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's exciting. That is super exciting.
And then with Asuko being in it,
I know. And then the last season 2 with the introduction of the Dark Saber. We're supposed to be hearing more about. Oh man. And more Giancarlo Esposito, which I'm really happy I could say that name, Giancarlo Esposito, because he's going to tie into something else we're going to bring up here. Dude, I've been geeking out. I haven't got to talk to anybody about this in a while. Not since like last week. His involvement in The Boys, which if there's anything else we need to discuss before we jump into The Boys, which is a sentence I never thought I'd hear, we're gonna jump right into The Boys. God, what else?
Is Batman
some
dead?
sad.
Oh
no, Batman. It again. I know we talked about the Batman trailer. Some bummer news that did make the circuit for a while was that Robert Pattinson did get tested positive for COVID and production got slowed down. I mean, dude, if there's still anybody out there that doubts, and I know there are, we won't get political, but there's still people that doubts that it's a real thing. When the star of a major motion picture, such as Robert Pattinson in The Batman, if something like that is going to slow down and or halt production, again, follow the money. I need no other, indicator, that stuff's gotten heavy when stuff gets shut down because of that. It's like, oh, it's a hoax, it's a scam. Dude, there are people losing millions of dollars right now for that movie not being, shot because of that.
Oh,
the other good news I'd heard, kind of not COVID related, but shooting of Witcher 2 has started up again.
Yeah, they're over in Europe, right?
I want to say New Zealand, because everything is shot in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Everything is shot in New Zealand, and I'd heard that they were doing it right, like they brought all the people in, quarantined them. It's still, speaking of Witcher, other I think this one still falls under the category of rumor, although I'm hearing a lot of really good stuff about it, is that Jason Momoa will be doing a Witcher, not Geralt. If you know the show, the game, or anything, Witchers are a group, so there's a huge story to go, just from there, that Jason Momoa wants in on the Witcher universe. And I'm like, damn, that would be, yeah. Oh man, I really am, Richard. I'm trying to pace myself. Other news I'd heard, Henry Cavill came out and has publicly said, and I believe it's been official, because one of our friends posted it, that he's all for doing more Superman movies. Right. And the latest rumor is that he has signed on for multiple.
Wherever three
yes.
is.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same way.
Like, three. And I guess he's going to be in the new Shazam sequel too.
Mm-hmm. And all the and you know what? We've talked about this, Richard. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I really do. I think my biggest complaint is that they should have worked a little harder on his Clark Kent. Granted, we only saw him for like 5 minutes, but they could have done a little, and that's the studio. They could have done a little better with his Clark Kent, because it's hard to argue that people can't believe nobody knows that Superman is Clark Kent because of the glasses. It's hard to make that argument when you look at Henry Cavill's Clark Kent, because it's like, I see your point. It's just like, I'm Superman, and then I'm Clark, but I loved him.
Rob Liefeld was drawing Superman. Oh,
fuck me, yeah. Except one point, Richard, we saw Superman's feet at least twice. Oh man, that was a deep 90s burn. Oh, we're back, Richard. Let's go. But no, I was really excited about that. And again, a lot of people still like to make fun of the CGI, beard and mouth and everything. Again, you can't blame him for that.
No.
His take on Superman was great, I think
I can't wait till they release the new version of the Justice League, though.
I know. We're
seeing more and more,
I know.
Except
the only
HBO,
that's HBO Max. I was gonna say, the only one scene that I really, really, really do hope they figure out a way to carry over is I did really like the scene with Superman and Cyborg when they're tearing apart the mother box. That was a great moment, because I love that he's just like, it's like, is this going to work in this year? It's like, because I really like being alive. Like, yeah, me too. And then they blow up. It's like, I changed my mind. I want to die. And Cyborg's like, I can't feel my feet. I love that moment. That was a great moment. And I hope that's one of the scenes that finds its way to the Snyder cut. But like you said, man, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about HBO Max, and we got to go on with that, because what happened to DC Universe this week?
This week, like yesterday,
the
we're getting good at this. That was a great announcement. That was a great segue too, Richard. We're getting, after 20 some years, we're finally getting good about segues. Because remember, it used to be, so HBO Max, But yeah, it's official. Everybody who's been calling it, you called it months ago, Richard, when I think was when HBO Max was first announced. You were the first one, Richard, was just like, oh yeah, DC Universe is going to go bye-bye.
Well, I had the subscription to it because of Westworld at the time. I had already picked up HBO and was watching Westworld, so it rolled over into HBO Max. So I had HBO Max for like two weeks or something like that while I was finishing up Westworld, and then I got to watch the new Looney Tunes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you could just see they had a whole section built around DC, and
they knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they even launched Doom Patrol on both universe, and the second season, I should say, was launched, and they had the first season on HBO Max too. So the people who didn't see the second season, who never got DC Universe, could watch it on HBO Max. So so who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we know now for sure that DC Universe is gone, so all the DC properties will be moving to this subset on HBO Max, because it's got its own little world, basically, where you just click on and it has all the DC stuff listed and stuff like that. So
because it was just very recently announced too that the animated Harley Quinn did get picked up for season 3 on HBO Max,
right?
And I'm already
and
like,
Doom Patrol. And so's Doom Patrol 3. So it's going to have to move over. The only good thing is I heard some other talk that HBO Max was thinking about having a commercial-based level.
Oh, really?
That they might do, because like Peacock was just released with a commercial level where you could get some stuff for free. I think this is a way they're going to entice people to go to the next level, but they will give them some access to some material for free. Right. And I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people's problem is probably the same problem that I have. It's not that I don't want to subscribe to HBO Max. I don't know how. I don't know where I can do it. I'm a Roku user, and I'd seen here recently that Hulu is going to do kind of like what they did with FX and all them, where if you're a Hulu subscriber, you can also, it's not free part of the service, but you can. It's like a gateway. It's like the gateway to HBO Max, but there's still a lot of speculation on how much exactly is going to be available.
Yeah, because they always had a deal with HBO, regular HBO. Because I used to get HBO through Hulu when I first was getting it to watch Westworld, because they offered me a deal like for $14.
Yep, that's the same.
I could get everything for $14. That was before they merged with Disney. That Disney Plus. Where you get ESP. What is it? ESPN, Hulu.
Oh, the whole Nat Geo and
the three of them put together. Well, they had that, and it's weird how like HBO was still partnered with Hulu, because that's back when they still had interest in Hulu, I think, because Warner Brother had a third stake in it, but I think they sold that to Disney now. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. But it's going to be because I had mentioned to you earlier when I'd heard we should explain that the DC universe as we know it is going to go away, but they're still going to make their catalog of comics available. Right. And from what I've read too, and I think this might be part of their saving grace, is I think I had read that they're going to do like Marvel did, where if you buy the physical comic book, you're going to have access to it through the app too.
It could be. I know it's going to be very similar to the Unlimited, so that'd be the same thing as Marvel Unlimited, and they're going to tack on, what is it, DC Universe Infinity or something like that is going to be tacked on the bottom of it.
Oh, so yeah.
That's going to be the new official name, and I think you'll be able to subscribe. What they say, 24,000 books is available right now, or something.
It's going to be pretty massive.
So if you're into digital comics, I mean, that's where you go.
Yeah, and we won't go into the topic, but we've had this discussion before. I'm old school. I'm a paper guy, but I did like, because Marvel really started it, was DC tried for a while. They were releasing comics that you could buy like the newsstand edition, and then for like $1 more, it came with a bagged version of the book that had the coat. That was great. I see why monetarily they probably had to give it up, because it was probably costing them a lot of money to print 2 versions of a book and then bag the one. Yeah. But I that's how I was buying mine for a while, because I like the idea of digital comics as like a backup. There are times where oh, we're adults here. I'm in the bathroom at Walmart and I got no reception. I need a few minutes to kill. You know, it's like bringing up Booster Gold. You know, it was nice to have. You know, so I'm not totally opposed to digital comic books, but I'm opposed to it having to be one or the other.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because I know they experiment with some like you know, free comic book day books you could get for free on the DCU and stuff like that. You know, I was reading some books, you know, on campus when I had stuff between, you know, breaks between classes. I sit and read a book, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be worth it. I probably will discontinue my subscription. I finally went in and looked, and I have it until the end of the year. But I think I had originally signed up for like unlimited, because I remember like when they first, like before they launched, they had a plan where you could pay, what was it, another like $20 more, and you can get it for unlimited. So
oh yeah.
I guess it wasn't unlimited.
While offers, you didn't see the little asterisk at the bottom of that, for as long as we're around, unlimited for as long as we're around.
But like I said,
well, I was gonna say,
yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say DC Universe. I was monthly, so as soon as I'd heard that it was over and I knew that there was nothing new coming, I killed it, you know.
Right. Yeah, I was like I said, I had to figure out how to even log in, because I've never logged into the subscription plan since I started the thing.
Me neither. Oh, dude, it took me about 20 minutes last night, because I got onto the app on my TV, and it's like, no, you got to go here. Like actually on the computer, you know, I use my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and it's like it needed me to log on, and I'm like, oh crap!
Yeah, I couldn't log in on the app. Wouldn't even let me log in. I had to go to a website, or you know, like a web browser to get all that information.
That's what I had to do.
I mean, that's like Disney. I know you have to do the same thing for Disney and all their stuff.
Yeah,
and CBS Access, but
yeah, they're all like that, because even like every once in a while, like if something janky happens to my Hulu, I've had to actually get on my computer and like get the access code and then type it into, or I get the code from the Roku, the TV, have to type it into the website to activate the TV.
Yeah. Well, that's just like even AMC. I used to have their unlimited go to the movies. You know, you could watch 3 movies every week and stuff like that. Well, they were reactivating it September the 10th. Nope, I went in, deactivated. And I looked and I go, they offered me $10 in concession stand stuff that I just, no, I don't want that.
No.
They tried to entice me to come back.
It's like that the guy or girl when you're in that breakup are still trying to negotiate, like, don't leave just yet. I'll buy you a car, you know. It's like, no, this is a bad relationship, we're over. It's done.
I mean, $10 in concession. What's that? A bucket of popcorn?
Oh, goobers if you're lucky. Definitely not popcorn, and definitely not a soda. So,
yeah, I don't know. I still had my $5 for my birthday that I never used either, because you know everything closed. You know, so I had my birthday $5, $5 they offered for something, another $5. So I actually turned down $15 just to discontinue my subscription.
It cost me money to discontinue. Damn it! But no, like I said earlier, though, I mean, I'm all about the HBO Max, because I mean everything that I want, all the reasons why I signed up for DC Universe, aside from the digital comic books, is going to be over there, you know. And I hadn't heard anything about Stargirl or the CW shows, but as long as I still have the CW, I don't care about seeing it one day earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the CW stuff lies, because I know they had distribution deal with like Netflix. So I'm not sure if that had ended before that stuff started up or not. I know at a certain point, Netflix is going to lose all the CW stuff.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, it's the same thing what happened with Disney and Marvel. So, everybody wants their own content on their own channel. So,
Yeah. And it was just that, Hulu and Netflix got in on the ground floor, and it was kind of like everybody was jumping their bandwagon just to get their feet wet. And once they realized, oh man, there really is money to be made here, blah, blah,
Well, there was even that Redbox service. They tried to do the online streaming stuff.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that? Because I beta tested Hulu back when Hulu before it came out. So I had a chance to do it way back in the day when it was just trying to be a TV station online, basically. And then the Redbox stuff, I beta tested Redbox, and they were trying to be Netflix, but you could get like the code, and you could like log in, and you could watch stuff that way. And so you could just watch one movie with a code for X amount of money or something. And I really didn't like. I mean, I got to do it for free, but it's like, nah, this isn't worth it. So I know that's why that kind of went along the. But I mean, Netflix survived. I mean, they saw it coming. So.
Oh yeah. Why, I'm so old. I remember when Netflix used to mail you DVDs, boy.
I think you can still do that.
You'd get on your computer, and in 3 days, you'd get that DVD in the mail.
Poor Blockbuster.
Oh, don't even go there, man. Too soon. Too soon. You know what's really funny? I'm bringing this up because you mentioned it. I'd seen two things that really piqued my interest here lately. Was one, there was someone was opening up a Blockbuster Airbnb. Oh. It was like an Airbnb that was set in a Blockbuster, and I had made the joke to my nephew. I go, hey, I wonder if I use my store, if I use my employee number, if I'll get a discount. And that little shit had the audacity to dare me. He goes, I bet you don't even remember that number. 295-157-00031. Ugh! I forget my own birthday, but I remember my store code.
But you had to log in every day, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
every single day.
Code, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Between me and you, Richard, the Blockbuster in Lima's phone number is still the phone number I give out when people ask me for my phone number. Can I get your telephone number? Yeah, 419-228-9015. That is the store number. I'm telling you, I still use that to this day. Oh man! And you know what?
What?
One last Blockbuster thing, because this came up in a conversation I had with a friend of mine not too long ago. That we were talking about the retail voices. A friend of mine shared a meme about, this is my retail voice and this is my normal voice. And I had made a comment to a friend of mine, and she's younger than I am. She's like, when did you ever work retail? I go, I worked at Blockbuster. And I go, I still have my Blockbuster retail voice. And she goes, bullshit. And I went, hi, this is Michael from Blockbuster Video Calling. Just to let you know, you still have a couple movies out on your account that are a few days late right now. If you could just give us a call back to let us know when you can return them, that'd be great. The number here is 419-228-9015. And she looked at me because she'd never heard that voice before. She had never heard my retail voice before. Oh, man.
Well, I still answer the phone with, hello, this is Richard, like I used to do at Time Warner all the time.
God, yeah.
Like, how may I help you? I never
I'll start, I should start doing that, Richard. From now on, like when a number pops up on my phone that it's not recognized, I'm going to answer, thanks for calling Blockbuster Video. This is Michael. How may I help you? Like, God, you know what, Richard? I'm going to do that just for shits and giggles. Next time I get an unlisted call, thank you for calling Blockbuster Video. Oh, man. Hey, real quick, Richard, did your screen freeze up?
I thought something happened. That's why I looked over there to see what was going on, because I got it playing over here too. So I think it was something. I don't know. It wasn't me.
Okay, because mine still froze up, and I don't know if you can see me, but it froze up when I had my finger pointed, and I really don't like the image I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. Because
Okay.
it was literally we joke about it, Richard, but it was that that Naked Gun moment where I'm like, oh man. So yeah, the other thing, gotta mention, Rich. We talked about it a little bit on the last two episodes we did. Those poor people we were talking to, but other good superhero stuff is The Boys on Amazon Prime. Holy yeah. Okay, first of all, spoilers, because there is no way we can't talk about. So, dude, if you thought the first season was effed up, man, they pushed the envelope on this one. And the thing about it is, though, you know a lot of it's for shock value, but it's good. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's still really good. I mean, a lot of people like to talk about where were you when this happened and where were you when this happened. I think one of the things for our generation is going to be, where were you when you saw the boys drive through the whale? Dude, that image is forever etched in my mind. Because I think everybody who was watching that episode, when you saw, Butcher driving the boat, and you saw the Deep, coming up next to him on the whale, you knew where it was coming. And you're like, they're not, are they? And then, man, they... And poor Huey just sitting in the whale, just completely, I'm done. You guys go on without me. I live here now. I live inside of a whale. But it's been good. I mean, it has been really good.
Homelander is really effed up now.
Oh, you thought that man was wackadoo in season 1. His level of depravity. Wow, this is an effed up person.
This week's episode. You saw this week's episode, right? When he flies down and he lasers everybody in his mind. I'm going, did that just happen? I
did. I really did. But before we even get there, Richard, imagine this is...
yeah.
Oh my God, man. Dude, I have never seen someone... That was... Wow.
Yeah, he is like, And then when he pushed his kid off the roof...
That was actually pretty goddamn awesome. I disagree with a lot of... I disagree with 95% of what Homelander does, but... I'm not saying I agree with what he did, but from a superhero child point, it was like, it wasn't like a bridge or something. It was one floor, whoop. And it was the impact that made it, because, I mean, the way they shot it, it wasn't like a cutscene where you see him getting pushed off. I mean, they showed the kid, and there was no bounce. There was no sound effect, it was just...
Yep.
Like, the realism behind that drop is what got you. You're like, oh man. Because, as techie guys like us, you're trying to figure out how they did the special effects. It's like, I think they dropped the kid. I'm pretty sure that was real. Maybe it was a diminutive person, but somebody got dropped from the... And I rewound it. Like, I remember watching a lot of stuff, Richard, where you could see the grass, move, where you could tell it was like a padding. There was no give. There was... Oh, man. Yeah, like you said, Richard, when Homelander dropped down by the Congresswoman, I really believed that was real.
Yeah.
And man, the level of the special effects behind that, because the first thing he hit was that guy's hand, and it just obliterated. Then it was just like, wow. And again, they showed it. They showed the crowd. It was like,
See, I wasn't a regular reader of the series, but doesn't he go nuts later on? Because I got like the 4 issue where he became the president or something like that.
No, not the. I'm familiar enough with the boys. I picked up a few issues here and there. I can't remember if he. Well, there's no spoiler because from what I've read, this is the one thing that they are going to veer off.
Right.
Is that in the comic books, I do remember this, Black Noir was actually a clone of Homelander.
Right.
And nobody knew it because Black Noir was like their secret weapon in case, Homelander went nuts. They purposely played him down. They didn't want him to show, him. They never showed him flying or anything like that. But I think it was in the president's office is that moment where Black Noir unmasked and you see it was Homelander and Black Noir. That was when he killed Homelander.
Okay. Well, I was talking about that 4-issue miniseries where it was they took over an island or something. And they had the orgy. It was the big superhero orgy.
Yeah, that I did miss that one, so I'm gonna bow to you on that one.
For some reason, I bought just those 4 issues. I had not really been reading it, but I was at the Laughing Ogre, and I always remember Gibb goes, "Do you really want to buy that?" I go, what the heck? I read Howard Shakin stuff. This shouldn't be too much worse. Because I've read some of that stuff Howard Shakin's done that's really out there, but I did. Yeah.
Well, because the one thing I had seen, they pretty much. I didn't feel bad saying this stuff about Black Noir being a Homelander or a clone because I'm 95% positive that's not the direction they're going. Because someone had even pointed out, we'll talk about the after show in a minute, but that moment where it was announced publicly that the heroes weren't born with superpowers, that they were injected with the Compound V. That was a pretty awesome moment when you saw Black Noir sitting there crying, because even that news affected him. So everyone was talking about, well, if he was a clone of Homelander, and he knew in the comic books, he knew he was a clone of Homelander. He knew what his job was. You know what I mean? Like he knew you are a clone of home. You are here to take him out if he goes nuts.
Yeah.
So for him to have that reaction of crying because he found out he wasn't born that way kind of eliminated the idea of him knowing that being a clone. But
I don't know.
Speaking of Black Noir, man, we got a healthy dose of his badassery this week too. Oh,
I know.
That was the only thing that got me though, was when they're in suburbia at Butcher's aunt's house, and Butcher gets in the car and he looks at a review, and you just see Black Noir peeking out through the chimney. Like I know he's supposed to be a man, he is the greatest ninja in the world, but this was him hiding. You know what I mean? You're like, come on, dude.
He probably did that on purpose. He wanted He wanted him to see him.
I bet, but that was still such a funny ass moment because it was just like peeking through that, like. And how messed up was it that Homelander had the doppelganger impersonating Elizabeth Shue's character?
That was freaky.
That was freaky because at first you didn't know, which first of all, man, kudos to Elizabeth Shue. That was, man, when she came walking out, it was just like, I thought I had a crush on her during Adventures in Babysitting. But then the way they played it, like maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I mean, we know, we saw him zap her eyes out, but then when you find out later it was that doppelganger.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it got even weirder. Then when the doppelganger turned into Homelander.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh, because
Yeah, it's just freaky this week.
God, man, it was non-superhero wire. One of my favorite moments still of this, especially this last week's episode, was meeting Butcher's aunt,
Oh.
who evidently was a big drug dealer, you know, in this beautiful suburban home. And I like, what did she say? It was something about Huey looks at her as she made that comment about, you know, healthcare not being, you know, what it used to be. You know, it's like, oh, it's privatized healthcare is what she called it. But that was a great moment in the story when his aunt, Butcher's aunt, tells Huey about Butcher's little brother.
Oh yeah, Lenny.
And it really explained, you know, the kinship that Butcher feels with Huey, because it was a great moment too when Butcher called him his canary, you know, because it really,
yeah.
that really did make sense, because it made sense to me, because, you know, I remember the story about the coal miners, you know, and they used the canaries to sense when danger, you know, when things got dangerous, the canaries would let them know.
Right.
That was a great moment to begin with. But then when Butcher's aunt, you know, makes remarks that, you know, you look exactly like Butcher's little brother. You're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or is she just messing with them?
No, I really believe that one. That one. And the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, like, where exactly are they? Because I understand Butcher having an accent, but if his aunt's been, oh, were they in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I'm back to Australia. It's the suburbs in like I think it was Sydney or somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
At least I
I'm
think
like, man,
I think that's what they said.
I thought they were still just in the suburbs of America, because it was only, I would say, by showtime, like a day or so since he left his wife, when he realized, you know, that he completely effed up.
Yeah.
And think about it, Richard.
I could have been wrong, but I thought that's what they said, because they were looking all over for him. He went back home, is what he said. So, oh well.
I'll have to go back. You know, it'd be a really good way to tout the fire trucks. No, they were in America, Richard, because I've watched enough shows from New Zealand and like that area. The fire trucks and stuff were American. They did the American sirens. They didn't do the wah, 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 you know.
I just thought that's what they said, but
inconsequential. But
it doesn't matter.
But that was one of those great character moments, which is why that show is so good, because it's not just, it's barely about the superheroes. You know, it's more about, you know, the normal human characters and the world of the superheroes.
Right. And I like how they're working in the new recruit. I went blank. Light. What is her name? Stormfront. Yeah, Stormfront. Yeah. I want to say Stormbringer, but that's a wrong show.
Wrong universe, Rich.
Yeah. Yeah, with her backstory being the racist super villain, basically, you know. So
yeah, Liberty.
Yeah, so they infiltrated the Seven, so she's manipulating Homelander. So that's probably how Homelander is going to go nuts, probably. Yeah.
Which, speaking of nutso scenes in a TV show, I'm just going to come out and say it, man. Come on, laser my tits. I was like, holy shit. I'm guaranteeing, Richard, we're going to see that on a t-shirt where it's just going to be her, where, like, laser my tit. Like, damn. Because what was it? I'd heard somebody say they joined the Mile High Club without the airplane. And you know what it vaguely reminded me of, Richard? was during the New 50, when the DC's New 52, when they were still toying with the idea of Superman and Wonder Woman having a relationship.
Right.
They tinkered with just playing with it, where it was a joke about, you know, seismic waves. You know, there were earthquakes, you know, in Antarctica that they couldn't explain, you know, and Batman's like, oh my God, they're doing it. We got to see how two superheroes would legitimately throw down. And not only that, two psychotic superheroes where they're punching and kicking each other because, like, they are a perfect match. Like, you can hit me as hard as you want because I know it turns you on, but it doesn't hurt. I was like, damn. Wow, that was holy crap.
What you do with your electrical powers then too.
Yeah. Which evidently is just a tip of the iceberg of her powers.
Right.
Because, I mean, she's the character, she's Liberty. We saw super strength and flight, you know, but we didn't see any electric, you know, what else is she holding? Well, how is she that old and not aged a day?
Right.
You know?
Well, that could be easily explained, though, you know.
That's true.
She probably was one of the very first ones that they gave the compound to back in World War II. You know, we got Captain. She's like a Captain America, female Captain America, evil with more powers or something. You know, who knows?
And I legitimately believe her sole reason for being there is to mess with Homelander. You know what I mean?
That America. I think she's trying to destroy America. I bet she's got a Nazi background.
Ooh.
Because it would fit with storylines going on today.
True, and they have tried to make that show very topical, right? Because they even when the memes, for example, when Stormfront showed Homelander the memes that she made to counteract the negative publicity that he was getting, those were some fairly fresh meme parodies. You know what I mean?
And that's even out there online. Those are actually real memes floating around. But she has like people working for her that's doing that. So is there like a Hydra? A whole line of like, you know, something like Hydra, leftover Nazis or something that she's, you know, that's how I'd look at it. It's probably going to happen because they're like you said, they're going in a whole nother direction than the comic books right now. I mean, basically, so who knows what could happen?
I think right now she is just lulling Homelander into a false sense of security, preying on his weaknesses, and then she, if not America, which I really do like that, if not America, at least the 7. Right. You know,
I think it's the whole thing because I think that's their whole agenda. I think there's some kind of Nazi group that she's part of, that she's like the leader of, or is like the second in command, and she's using herself to get into the, you know, but who knows? Yeah.
I got to mention too, Richard, we're talking about The Boys. I don't know if you've watched this. I've mentioned this a lot to our friends who are watching the show. There is an after show to The Boys on Amazon, starring Aisha Tyler.
I finally watched the first one.
Dude, I like that show. Granted, I'll watch Aisha Tyler watch paint dry. I love that woman. Man, I love that woman.
An hour long. For some reason, I just think it's too long, but that's me.
I think that might have been the first one, Richard. I don't think the ones after.
Okay.
I might, because I noticed I hate to say this, but the last couple that I watched, well, last night, I got a little distracted. I was playing on my phone, and the next thing, and I know time slips for me, but I know I wasn't on it for an hour, and I'm like, oh shit, I missed the entire thing, you know. But I really like it because you can definitely tell it was, they were very intelligent about the way they did it. It's definitely a post-COVID filming, because the way they do it is they have Aisha in studio, and then the guests on her show are kind of like what we're doing exactly right here, except on a big screen.
Yeah.
And I noticed this, Richard, too. You'd be proud of me. I don't think Aisha Tyler's looking at a green screen. I think the screens we see are the actual screens because I saw a reflection. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Oh, it could be.
And if you notice when she's talking to them, she's looking. It could be just that she's good at what she does, but she'll look at the screen of the person talking. But the first few episodes, they always bring in people from the show. We've seen Carl Urban, who. Dude, I am a huge. You know what's weird, Richard? I'm a bigger Carl Urban fan than I ever realized I was, because I'm looking at his history of work. Lord of the Rings, Dread,
right?
The Star Trek reboot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love that guy and everything he's been in. How am I not a bigger Carl Urban fan? Then I'm like, I am a big Doom, which not just strong. I still like that movie, but I'm like, damn it, everything he's in, I really like. But it was great listening to him tell the story about how after the first season came out, Aisha asked him, how the crowd, how people have treated him. And I'm not even going to try to do his voice. I can't, I can't, because that's his accent, man. That is not his put on. But he's like, I love it. People come up to me and they tell me how much they love me. Warning. I'm going to say the word. I'm going to say it once. I mean it the way he says it, the British version, and not the bastardized American meaning of it. I won't. But he goes, everybody always asks me to call them a C word. He goes, there are probably, the one interview I saw with him, he's like, there are probably hundreds of phone videos of me giving messages to people's girlfriends or friends. It's like, "Oi, Sheila, how are you?" He goes, if you didn't know who I was or what the show was about, he goes, this could seem very offensive. But they have cast members on. They've had the writer, the producer of the show. The one that really messed me up, Richard, and this is why I said his name earlier, Giancarlo Esposito, was I'm familiar with a lot of his work from what was it, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Mandalorian, and of course The Boys. And everything he plays very heavy with a lot of gravity, and he's that quiet badass. But when I got to see him live on that show, he's like, "Hey guys, it's really great to be here." Oh, and like no, man, you're messing me up, man. It's like I can separate actors from roles, but you're messing with my brain, man. But it's a really enjoyable show. And if you're watching The Boys, especially watch it like right after, when everything is still fresh in your brain.
Okay.
Because
I'll try to catch up. I really will try to catch up, but I stumbled on some newer stuff myself, so I've been going in a different direction just as of today.
Yeah, you can't do it, Richard. If we were Wonder Twins, man, we would totally have been murdered by now.
Wrong
but no, you were telling me about this, Rich.
Yeah, because I've dropped most of my services, so I just have the Spectrum cable now, and I use the Spectrum cable app. But I've been downloaded the Sci-Fi channel because I've been watching 6 Minute Hour Man, Bionic Woman, old Battlestar Galacticas, Buck Rogers. They got all the old stuff from the 70s on there. Well, I stumbled on a real new cartoon, or animated, I should say animated. They're doing their own version of like Adult Swim now on Sci-Fi Channel. And they got a new series called Dallas and Robo. It is great. I was like amazed. And I couldn't believe, because I was watching I couldn't get the first episode, but I got the second episode on. And I was watching it, and I didn't even look up what this was. I just started watching it, and I go, that's Kat Dennings' voice, you know. And I was
Mm-hmm.
going nuts. And she's doing Dallas, who is a space trucker, and she's got a robot with played by
You can't see me, John
yeah,
Cena.
yeah, duh.
I don't know.
And
I looked that one up. I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
so, you know, it was crazy there, you know, and I just thought that was really cool, you know. And I don't know,
Well,
I just love it. The animation is sort of like that heavy metal-ish, you know, very
mm-hmm.
simple, you know, so it's neat, but it's like you know, it's just weird stories because she had to make like a run to the moon to pick up a pizza. And I don't want to ruin it, but that's what it was. They're like on some kind of station out in the middle. They're like not a station, like a casino, like a space casino, and she made a bet to make a run to go get pizza. That's all I'll say.
Oh my God, I'm in.
In case you get to see it, that's on the very.
I'm gonna find it.
But I was really shocked that they have all these other shows on there and stuff. So now I'm going to have to dive into this. You know, I've been catching up on Adult Swim. Because wasn't a regular Adult Swim, but I've been watching a lot of the shows because I have access to like the older stuff because I downloaded the app, and I've been watching all this other content. You know, it's really cool because with the Spectrum app, or with the Spectrum code, I can log into all these and get like full content, just like History Channel. With the Spectrum
code, you say?
Yeah. So you log in there and you get the History Channel, and I've been watching Ancient Aliens.
That just dropped on Hulu too, dude, and that is on my watch list. Oh yeah,
right. They got the History Channel stuff, don't they? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They made that deal because History Channel is part of A&E.
Yeah,
they're not owned by like Disney or Paramount or any of the other ones. They're like their own little A&E network stuff because they have A&E, History, and Discovery. Is it part of it? No.
Nat Geo? Discovery.
Yeah, because Nat Geo's on the other. And then Paramount has Smithsonian.
That just reminded me of something I do not want to forget to talk about. Some exciting news I had heard just like a couple days ago. But this goes back to, well, I don't want to. I don't want to. Richard, here are some words you're never going to hear me say ever again. I don't want to get off topic.
Oh, okay.
But
like I said, the sci-fi stuff is really cool. If you got the Sci-Fi Channel, watch it. If not, I don't know how to get the stuff. You know, I guess supposedly the series that I'm talking about was actually on YouTube. The paid subscription YouTube, so you can watch it on there too, I guess. So,
but no, what I was going to say, Richard, it goes back to what me and you talked about a few weeks ago with everything that's been going on in the world. We really are. We called it, man. We're seeing an influx of more and more animated stuff because with everything that's going on in the world right now, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's safer and healthier. It's convenient, to do it.
You know, because anybody can. Well, I don't want to say anybody can do animation, but you know, you can do it from your house. I mean, I've been watching all these guys setting up their Avid studios and their rooms and stuff. You know, because I've been getting some ideas on how I'm going to redo because I am in the process of maybe trying to get another computer myself. And if I do something, you know, I don't know. I know what I do, but I can't use all the Adobe stuff on my computer anymore, and it's really making me frustrated.
And I'd seen this, that not only can they do it from home, but they've even figured out, at least for the voiceover actors, to be able to still do it in studio because it really is safe. I think it was something I want to talk about here in a minute, but it's very easy to do because they still have the same sound studios that they did. Okay. The general engineer still sits in this side of the glass. They said like one person now, but the actor that's coming in brings his own headphones.
Okay.
Goes into the the sterile sound booth, does his lines, leaves, crew comes in, sterilizes the environment, the
Okay.
next actor comes in. So they said that they are able to do stuff in studio now, which brings me to something else I am very excited about. And Animaniacs is back, man.
Ooh.
Animaniacs. Oh God, it is no secret. And if we get a chance to, Richard, it might be easier for you, or I'll do it. Because I've gotten to meet Rob Paulson. I've gotten to meet Maurice LaMarche. These are two I will live and die for those two people. They are beautiful human beings. But they showed here recently. We heard it was coming. I got to see video of them in studio, and it really did. It looked very, I really, if what I saw was correct, depending on, when they did it the way we would like them to do it, where they're together. Because I've talked to, I've gotten a chance to talk to some voiceover actors, and they always say the same thing. It's better. They enjoy doing it as a cast more than it's like he reads his lines. He reads all of his lines, leaves, and this person comes in and reads all of their lines. To be able to get that back and forth, I'd seen video of the major players, and I don't have to look this up. Tress MacNeille, Rob Paulson. Oh no, wacko! I bit off more than I could chew. Jess Harnell, Tress MacNeille, Maurice LaMarche, and Rob Paulson together, reading their lines back and forth, and they're already like the one joke. And you got to see Jess Harnell do the line as Yakko. Oh, I can't wait to be back on the Warner Brothers lot and be back up in the tower. I hope my Hootie and the Blowfish album has finally downloaded from an Napster. And I'm just like, oh my God, I am so old.
Sorry.
You got to see Jess Harnell.
I just did a reel for on Instagram.
Oh my, fuck you.
No, it was great.
Oh, but man,
we got to do more reels. I forgot about that. I was going to start doing that tonight.
But if anybody, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain are two of my end-all beat-all favorite cartoons historically. And to hear that they're coming back is phenomenal. And from what I've heard too, it's not going to, how do I put this? They've already shot the episodes, but they've talked about future episodes being a lot like South Park, where they're going to be not content wise, but as topical. You know what I mean? The animation's going to be that quick to turn around, where, someone makes a joke on Monday, South Park is ripping on it Friday, they're going to be able to keep up with it like that. Because Animaniacs has always been very pop culture and topical. They are like one of the most pop culture and topical cartoons ever.
The president plays the sax.
Exactly. Shirley MacLaine. God, don't get me started, man.
That worked. We got a reels now.
Oh my God. But I am ridiculously excited for that. I can't wait to see.
That was that November November.
Yeah.
12th, I think.
Oh my God. So think about it, Richard. So much is coming out in November.
I mean, yeah. What else? Well, Mandalorian.
It slightly off topic, but PlayStation just released their prices and release date for the PlayStation 5. Oh, but kind of a segue, because I was talking about Aisha Tyler earlier, and we were just talking about Animaniacs, animated shows. Speaking of Hulu and deals and everything, one of the perks to Hulu buying out Fox the way they did,
right?
We don't have to wait for Archer anymore. The newest season of Archer, which is another one of my favorite animated shows, is airing like new episodes, like like the day after, whatever, but they're airing
Right.
new episodes. We don't have to wait 4 weeks until the season is over
Oh
to get the
wow.
entire. No, I found out about it through Facebook. I saw an advertisement for it, and because even though I follow and watch the show on Hulu, it didn't update me on new episodes, and I had to find it. But sure enough, man, the first two new episodes of Archer are on Hulu, and God, man, I love that show.
No. They got like FX now, as like you were saying earlier. They have that as like the network now, right? On Hulu.
Yeah.
It's like a sub network and stuff. Because I know I've been watching the FX movies, I think, on
Oh
Spectrum.
yeah.
Because they got a whole line of movies. Because Ant-Man and Wasp was on there.
Really?
Yeah, and that was weird because, well, like I think and go, well, no, that is a Marvel, that's DC now, because I keep forgetting Fox is now DC, or is DC. Marvel,
Oh yeah.
So it looks like they're repositioning even the on air, because they have FX2, FX movies,
FXX, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, well, are they going to like streamline some of that on the cable channels now? I don't know what they're going to do, because they got so much
Mm-hmm.
cross, but the FX movie channel was really neat because I watched that and I watched something else on there because I was really surprised that they had it. I think Mission Impossibles were on there because they had Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, really?
Which is a Paramount, but they must have the right, like I think it was 3, 4, and 5 or something like that. Which because I just been watching some movies and they had the one video game, the ancient, whereas the virtual, he's the ninja guy. Because I never saw it. It's on there. I'm gonna watch that probably Monday. But I've been, like I said, I've been looking at all my extra channels now and finding that there's a lot of programming out there.
Yeah. Rich, do you do the same thing I do where when I go to find something to watch, I end up spending 2 hours watching trailers and promos to shows and movies I just found out were, like last night I was on Amazon, and you know how they'll like, you watch this, so you should watch this. Like 45 minutes later, I've watched like 18 different trailers. I'm like, I haven't watched anything. I've added 300 things to my watch list, but I haven't sat and watched anything.
Yeah, I was like on Amazon was Remo Williams.
I just saw that, dude. I just put that on my watch list. I swear to God, because I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, I remember seeing it when I was real young, but when I went back and I rewatched the trailer to it, you could tell that they were really hoping to make a franchise out of that movie.
Yeah.
They were really.
Was when they were at the dinner table and the grandpa spoke up. He goes, "He's no Mac Bolan."
Yep.
That's my favorite line in the whole movie. He goes, "He's no Mac Bolan." But I don't know.
It's almost like, Richard. It's like it's almost like an Illuminati thing where the heads of all the major studios are sitting in a room together, and it's almost like, all right, I'll trade you this movie for this TV series. You can stream this movie. You get that movie,
There's a lot of deals still going on because because what I'm seeing is they don't want to be total exclusive yet because they want their product over here so that they see that product and they realize, oh, wait, that was a Paramount show. Now I have to get Paramount Plus,
Yep.
So there's a little bit of cross promotion still going on because, like CBL All Access is now being rebranded as Paramount Plus, which
Yep.
to me is great because they got the Star Treks because Star Trek Discovery season 3 it comes out the end of October, so I'll probably pick up that again just to watch that, and then
Same
watch
here.
watch the animated Lower Deck because I've only watched the first episode.
I heard that is really good.
So what I'll do is I'll wait till that comes out, then I can watch Lower Deck as a companion show because I only get it when I only got it when like Discovery's on or Picard was on, and I didn't pick it up for Lower Deck because I know what it was because Paramount owns Pluto TV now. That
really?
Streaming service. That's why it's
I heard.
That's why it's looking more like Paramount now. That's why you have a Star Trek Next Generation channel. You have all the MTV shows, the Comedy Central shows, and all that stuff.
I think Mystery Science Theater 3000's on there too.
Right, but that's another contract through one of the other groups, like sort of like Underground Video Network, Shout.
Right.
Shout
TV.
Yeah, owns the rights to that stuff. But they have made deals because they're even on like Stir and some of those other ones that's just like that. That's really funny because we were talking about free stuff. That's really cool how you can watch like on Pluto TV. It's free.
Yeah.
You just pop it up. I know it's not on demand, but it's like, and I don't mind a commercial here or there.
I don't either. It was really weird. Like I go over to my dad's house, and my dad, still has normal cable vision, and a commercial will come on, and he'll go to turn it, and I will tell him now, like, whoa, hold on, I want to see this commercial, and he'll look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's like I haven't seen this commercial. I want to see this commercial. Like this commercial's hilarious. My dad's like, I've seen it 30,000 times.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole way of the entertainment world. I called it long time ago. Everybody was going to have their own little, setup, and it now is real.
The one feature I still wish they would add, Richard, and if they do later on, I'm calling that I called it, and I'm probably alone on this one. I wish there was, like, when you go to a series. Okay, perfect example. This is why I thought of it. Like South Park. I bring up South Park, has a list of all the episodes. Random.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? You see where I'm going with this, Richard? It's like, it's like I want to watch, it's like right now, I want to watch an episode of South Park, but I don't want to have to decide, when there's 4,000 episodes of something, like which one do I watch? Random. Blah, blah, blah. I'm watching this episode now, because a lot of those older shows, you could do that because like a lot of the serials, I'm the rerun generation. We're the rerun generation, Richard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I turn on, I know Cheers is on at 8:00. Which episode am I going to get? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like the Big Bang Theory. I'll flip it on just because you don't know which episode's going to be on. Yeah. Now that it's syndication.
Yeah. There's your station right there. Syndication mode.
There you go. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. This was one of them things, because
I
really just want to see, because I know I want to see the new Star Trek. When I saw that trailer,
I do too.
That trailer drop, with the Discovery, I thought it was because they're like now in the future,
Yeah.
And then of course the other one's coming out, the one with Captain Pike, with the Spock and them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on the Star Trek Day the other day, I watched that panel when they were talking about the new series that's coming out. That's like next year sometime, because that's the Enterprise before Kirk took over the Enterprise.
Yep.
So that'd be pretty
cool. Before Pike was in the wheel.
Yeah. Before the accident.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll actually show the accident. Oh.
Well, I remember that we got to see when Pike we saw him in that thing, man.
Yeah, the
That was
foreshadow when he got to see the future. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, because
dude, that was weird.
We just got a new like on Instagram.
Eh. Oh man, what else has there been, Rich?
Awakening Comics. Oh, that's the guys. I know these guys. Yeah, that's Stephen Peters. Yeah, I met them at Space.
Oh, far out.
Yeah, they're like, huh?
Well, no. I was gonna say, speaking of meeting people, we've talked about it before. Where there are certain times I wish I could turn off the Facebook memories, because what was it?
Oh.
Yesterday I got memories from back when we were at Jim and Dan's toy show. That last one there at Hero Arena.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, because a couple of them popped up. The one that popped up was a memory that popped up that somebody had taken a picture of me holding your camera while you interviewed the two young ladies that
yeah, Derek did that. Yeah.
Yes. And it was just like, oh, look, a con. Oh. Then I got a flash. It was like, no, ignore that. And then it was like a memory. It's like, hey, remember this time a couple years ago when you were at the Time Travelers Weekend at the Renaissance Festival? I'm like, no.
I know I've been guilty because I've been posting on Thursdays, the Throwback Thursday episodes. I've been randomly picking stuff because it was really weird. I randomly selected our review of The Killing Joke. The
I saw that.
Movie.
Yeah.
Did you see it's going to be on Netflix?
Really?
It just really surprised me. I saw that. It was like, how did Netflix get Killing Joke? Shouldn't that be on HBO Max? It's like what you were saying about, hey, we have this show. We'll trade you this for this.
No, I remember that because I remember wasn't the one or two before that where you did the flashback when we went and saw the Back to the Futures when they were back at the theater. Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to get the date close and I forgot the weekend was like the week before. I was like a week late, but I still showed it.
Mm-hmm.
Or posted it. Then I had with Amethyst there. I did that one. I posted that. And then she ran with it. So I really appreciate when people run with our stuff then too, because I just randomly select them. I don't even know which one I'm doing until the day comes up. I think the only one that I actually shared was on the same day was when I posted my interview with Jeff Smith. Just because it was Thursday and I go, oh, I could use that today, and I just posted it. I didn't have to think of one that day.
And you know what? I really wish I would have remembered the interview with her. What was it last week when we were talking about how our big motivation for doing the show, like when we go to cons, is we don't give two shits about famous people. We want to meet the grassroots, starting out people, artists, writers, cosplayers. Because if you think about it, Richard, like if I interviewed some famous guy, it would have been great. I can guarantee you, like right now, we probably would never have heard from that person again or spoken to that person again. But after doing the interview with Amethyst, because we had a circle of friends, we've become friends with her mom, Erin, like we talk on Facebook like all the time. It's just, it's like when it takes that networking to a more personal level where it's not just people that from a con. These are my friends, And when I saw that interview, I was just like, it was a heartstring tugger because I'm like, oh, first of all, cons, like, oh man, and oh man.
Oh man, we've almost an hour and a half.
I know.
Anything else?
Man, I can't. Even comic book news wise, I mean, I've still been getting my issues. I'm
getting ready to release. I'm getting ready to release one of my new minis.
Yes, awesome.
This is another test print. I haven't even posted this online. I was saving it for tonight. This is one I was test printing just to see what they look like and stuff. So let me know what they look like. If you're friends with me on Facebook and stuff, I've been posting them there. So I think they look cool.
I was half tempted, Richard. I was almost going to make a Rorschach test / why are you showing me pictures of boobs? Like, Richard, why are you showing me pictures of boobs? No, these are Rorschach tests. No, they're pictures of boobs. And I was going to tell you too, I really dig when you post those pictures and you do the Facebook 3D effect.
Oh yeah, some of them really.
Oh dude, I'll sit there with, I'm not, Richard, I wish I was exaggerating and blowing smoke up your ass, but I will sit there and put my phone up to my eye just before it starts to blur, and I'll do this. Dude, that's as close to psychedelic drugs as I've ever taken, because I'll just sit here, and then you'll like this, Richard. I'm abusing your artwork, because I will sit here and I will do that thing where I will stare at it for like 30 seconds, and then I'll look at my ceiling, which is pure white. Oh, dude. If somebody walked in I'm like, oh, it's as close to a trip as I've ever been, man.
That ant one turned out really bizarre.
That did turn out really bizarre. Oh, shit. Oh, what? Other awesome. I saved the best for last.
Okay.
We were talking about, Marvel and everything, Ant-Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
Ant-Man 3. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the two big, and this is confirmed. This is from Marvel. This isn't Comic Vine or any one of those other rumor sites. This is from Marvel. The first major bit of news that I absolutely loved was that Evangeline Lilly will be equally, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cast, build,
yeah.
Build, equally built with Paul Rudd for the third movie, which oh my God, I'm all for that. But the other really big news is that they have officially announced not only the character, but the actor that's going to be the villain in Ant-Man 3. The actor's name escapes me right now. Do it upon yourself to look it up. But the main villain is going to be Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Rich! I'm excited for this because this is going to be the first heavy villain in one of their movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
A villain that how do I put this? A villain that affects the universe outside of Hank Pym,
Yeah.
Because Yellow Jacket in the first movie, he hated Hank Pym. Ghost in the second movie, she was out to get Hank Pym.
Right.
But the idea, that we're seeing an actual A-list villain, being brought to Ant-Man and, the Wasp, man. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because we've been introduced to the concept of time travel through the quantum realm because of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Time travel is a perfect segue to Kang the Conqueror. You know what I mean? That's oh man, we are going to see some freaking quantum leap, Back to the Future, stuff on this one, man.
Young Avengers.
Yeah. Ooh, man, that would be dude. I want. I'm just saying, I would love to see that as a Disney Plus show. That would be great as a Disney Plus. Yeah. They deserve a series.
I just hope the world's greatest will be mentioned.
Oh, you. Yeah.
I hope they get mentioned because Kang is their villain.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Man, talks about a Fantastic Four movie have been in the works for a long time. This man,
because they were the first ones to go into the quantum realm.
Negatives,
yeah, and shrink down too, because that's what the Psycho Master.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So who knows?
Oh man, but just hearing that there will be an Ant-Man 3.
Oh yeah, and of course, did you hear the rumor that's going to cost some money to you, right? New costumes.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, man. No. My Ant-Man 3 suit savings account has already been open. I wish I was joking, Richard. I really. Oh man, that's a new helmet, a new suit. Oh my god.
They'll make it look totally different too this time around.
Oh
It's got to
yeah.
be something totally different because they'll want something.
Oh, they've got to. Oh yeah.
Oh, someone's watching us on YouTube. Hey, welcome
Hi.
to the show.
Now time to wrap it up. But no, I was so. Oh man, because like I said, it came from Marvel. This wasn't speculatory, It's like,
oh yeah,
because especially, the Corona and everything, and most of the talk being about Disney Plus. The only thing that we've really had on the horizon movie wise is Black Widow.
right.
And I hate to say, because of Corona, I'm not saying it's not getting the attention it normally would under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
But
and then we had Eternals, which was supposed to be out this November.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And it's not the Eternals in the Fantastic Four number 115. Did you know there was a set of Eternals introduced in this book?
I did not.
Somebody
went digging through his long box.
Well, I did a speech that's on my YouTube channel about this is the very first comic book that I've ever bought, a superhero wise.
Shut up.
Yeah, 1971, off the shelf. It's the same book too.
It is really weird. God damn it, Richard, we are so in sync. It is really weird that you mentioned that particular subject, because before I hopped on here, I was on the phone with my dad, and we were talking about comics and stuff, and we were talking about, he'd asked me about my collection. I told him I was moving some boxes around. He asked me if I remembered what my first comic book was, and I couldn't remember. I was 90% sure it was like Transformers #1 or something, but I could not remember. But it was just weird that he asked me that question, and then you turn around and like, here's my first comic book. I'm like,
well, it's not my very first comic book. It was my first superhero comic book.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I came out of the Tarzan, some westerns and stuff like that before that. So
I came out of the Archie, Muppet Babies, Baby Huey, and Casper. The really Richie Rich era comics. That was where my start was.
Yeah, I really loved Tarzan before that. I don't know why I was so into Tarzan. Well, it was because the TV series was on at that time too. So, and then I even had Valley of Guaiga, which got me out of the cowboy phase into dinosaurs.
The beginning of it all.
Guaji. I said that wrong. Valley of Guaiji, or however it's,
I forgot about this, Rich. Totally off topic, which is normal for us. If I wasn't at work, I would have shared it with you. Did you see the thing? It was only a few weeks ago where Japan had declared Godzilla a citizen. They had given him Godzilla citizen status. I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. That is awesome.
I know we got to take UVN over to Japan, and we do the zip line into Godzilla.
I saw. Didn't I share that with you?
Yeah,
Didn't I send that with? Oh my god. Oh.
Could you see how?
Oh my god. Yes.
Here we go. It's Godzilla. Oh. I still say we got to go down to Kentucky and do that in the caves.
Oh, dude, sign me up. I would almost be.
You're getting likes on Instagram from your reel.
Oh my god, I was gonna make the old man keeping it real dad joke, but I just did anyway. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah, man, I'm all about that. speaking of that, Richard, just real quick, because it has nothing to do with anything. One of my friends who cosplays Daredevil. He went skydiving recently.
Oh wow!
He said he went twice. The second time that he did it in his full movie accurate Deadpool costume.
Really?
Dude, it was pimp. And I got a hold of him. I asked him, I go, I've looked at those. I go, did you? He goes, no, I couldn't see anything. He goes, I just did it the second time for the video. I'm like, he goes, I could barely feel the air on me because that suit is like leather. He goes, you could barely feel it. He goes, I barely knew what was going on. He goes, I could just make out the earth like this. But he goes, after we landed, he goes, the guy that was with me, because he had like the GoPro and he says he was watching it more than he was watching, like what he was supposed to be doing. And the only reason I remember, my brain made that weird correlation, Richard, because when you said ziplining, it reminded me of a couple years ago when the Heroes for Hope did an event in Lima at the Civic Center. It was like a health fest where I got to zip line in my Ant-Man suit. And I was like, it was the same thing. It was like, I could see this, and all I knew was I had to tuck my legs in because I had no idea where the ground was, and I didn't want to scrape my legs. Do this number like right here. Oh. So the entire time my legs are just tucked up like this. Oh man. Well, Rich, my phone has just hit the teen mark on my my battery, so it's about time for us to wrap this up. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was good talking to you. It was, yeah. Like I said, I absolutely love that we have people on to interview, but just to be able to sit down and talk shop. But yeah. Oh man.
Hey, we're getting close to 500, so. Seriously, episode 500.
All right, to pull in those last viewers, I'll do what I gotta do. So, Richard. So you want the 500? I'm just gonna. The next 10 minutes are just gonna be this, and we will.
The 500th episode.
Oh yes,
that's what I meant.
Oh my God, 500 viewers. What the hell was I thinking?
I've already said.
Oh my God, look at the ego on this guy. Yeah, so, we're gonna have to do something for that.
So we'll probably be putting out some feelers in a couple weeks. We'll figure out what's going on. We got to do something special. And if anybody's seen Peanut, have them call me.
Yeah, I haven't seen like literally hide nor hair of him in months.
I haven't seen him in years.
Oh my God.
He hasn't called me like in forever. So.
Oh. If you have I'm gonna have to do some photoshopping skills, Richard. I will make a milk carton. Have you seen this geek?
Okay, we better wrap this up.
Yep. On behalf of myself, Michael Boroff, and my good friend Richard Catterjohn, we want to take a moment to thank everybody who's watching. We hope you're staying safe. Staying healthy, doing what you got to do to protect you and your loved ones. Richard, aside from right here, where can everybody else in the internet land find us?
Well, welcome to our show, which I never showed when we started.
Yeah.
undergroundvideonetwork.com. Just find our socials. You can see live streams there on 3 different networks now. We're actually on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter live when we do these streams. So, it's pretty cool. And then we still have all of our archive at undergroundvideonetwork.com. All 496 episodes plus a few hundred more other stuff that we've done. So that's where you can go.
I'm gonna start doing a thing, Richard. If people pop up, we're gonna start a new game called "Is He Wearing Pants Today?" We're just like, all right. At the end of the episode, we had 3 people. He is wearing them. Oh, shit. Real quick, Richard, I'm gonna say the actual phrase here in a second, but other big news I wanted to mention real quick was that they dropped. If you were a fan of the show with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Cosmos,
Oh yeah.
produced by Seth MacFarlane, it too is making a return. So you definitely want to look that up. I completely nerded out over that.
Yeah, it's like interstellar planets or something like that. What they're going to look, what they could look like, or something like that.
This one is going to be more. Oh, if you haven't watched the first season, it's on Disney Plus. I recommend it. It is phenomenal. I think this one's going to be a little bit more interplanetary than.
Yeah, I think they're going to look at different planets and different life, what life could look like on other planets or something like that.
Yep. So definitely look that up. And I remember this time, Richard. So on behalf of Richard Catterjohn and myself, thanks for watching. Richard.